doing things that others won't do in order to have things that others won't have. So let me tell you something that happened today. So I was out going to meet a mate today, and that's a story in itself. Mate that disappeared and I had to track her down. Anyway, let's not go there. Not tonight anyway. Or today, if you're watching this, it's night time for me, but it might be in the day for you. Let me tell you about another instance. So I was driving on the road, going around the roundabout, and I live in a coastal area, very beautiful coastal area of North Wales, and there's this seagull sat in the middle of the roundabout, literally between the two lanes, and I'm like, oh, that's not where seagulls are meant to be. And it's just sat there with all these cars whizzing around it, and I'm like, something's not right. So I went round the once, and that's when I first noticed it, and I went round again. I thought, do you know what, I am going to stop, and I'm going to stop that, get that seagull, because it's not right, and I know an RSPCA place, and I'm going to take it there. So I got this poor seagull, which I think had been struck by a car. Obviously I slowed down slowly and then put my hazards on and kept near the curb and was very careful getting this poor animal into the car. And you're thinking probably that I'm nuts because there's seagulls everywhere. Well, let me tell you something. If it was a human lying in the middle of the roundabout, just because there's humans everywhere, would you just be like, I don't need to get that, that's not important? The seagull's been born a seagull, that's what it's meant to be. So I believe in everything having a right to live before it dies, so I chose to not do what everyone else was doing and just being like, oh, it's just a seagull and it'll die soon, or whatever they were thinking, or rushing off to wherever they were, or just thinking, oh my gosh, there's a seagull in the way, and then just trying to get out to whichever exit they were on. And I got this poor bird in the car, rushed over to my mates, knocked on the door, said, I'm sorry, I'll be straight back, this poor seagull, and I need to get it to the RSPCA, and it's not well, and they were like, fine, just that's fine, get it off quickly, go and get it the help that it needs. And this poor animal was, didn't look like it had anything particularly wrong with it, but had a bit of blood around its beak, but I don't know. Anyway, cut long story short, so I managed to get to the RSPCA place, and the seagull was dead. It had died in the car, which is sad, but I'm glad I tried, and I think my message today is not only have compassion for other people, which is something that I have discovered I don't have enough of. I had more compassion for that seagull than sometimes I do for other people. Probably because I believe that people tend to make their own problems, whereas seagulls, don't. They're being a seagull, that's what they came to do. And the thing is, there's a good probability that that seagull could have lived, and I'm glad I made the effort, because even though it didn't work out, I went with that possibility, whereas all the people whizzing around it were destined to let it die. Whereas I took the opportunity to give it a chance. And sometimes in life you have to do that, even though what you were doing you think maybe is dying on you, whether that's a business, whether that's a job or whatever. There's always a chance, even if it's not maybe where you are right now. What I mean is, it's not just the end of the road. Life doesn't just stop at that point. Start looking around at what other opportunities are available, because you don't know what's out there. And I remember listening to a speech by Les Brown. Les Brown is a great motivational speaker, an American motivational speaker. Don't know what a motivational speaker is, it's what it says on the tin. So they are very, very wealthy, don't get me wrong, and they make their money basically by going around and just sharing their difficulties and their experiences with people, and it really, it just really gives people the push that they need sometimes. I know I've listened to a few, quite a lot of them now, and they're all free on YouTube, and sometimes you hear things and you're like, oh yeah, I needed reminding of that. Anyway, he said, he quoted a quote that was it's something like, in order to be successful or get what you want, you have to put in or do the things today that others won't do in order to have tomorrow the things that others won't have. And it's really true. Conformity is a killer of dreams, because a lot of us don't know we're conforming. You know what, I conformed for so long, not even knowing that I was doing it, and didn't know I was doing it. Didn't have an awareness of what I wanted. Didn't have a clue. It's taken me a very long time. My vision still not 100% clear. I know definitely now that I want to take care of my family, not just in terms of finances, but being able to be physically there for them and to gain the wisdom to guide them, I think, as well. And so yeah, that's really the message I want to give today. So that's all from me, and as always, feel free to subscribe, hit the bell for those notifications. This is a bit of an odd video, I do appreciate, but we do release lots of videos about tons of different stuff. We've got videos on eBay business, which is something I went into. Drop shipping is what I'm doing at the moment, which is basically selling goods, and when the customer orders, you press the button for the product to go from China to whatever country that is, so you don't have like a physical stock of products. You know, it's not like you bought 100, I don't know, rubber ducks or whatever, and now you've got to sell 100 rubber ducks. It's not work quite like that. It's like, customer buys one rubber duck and then you put in the order for one rubber duck, so if that's your market. So yeah, that's all from me, and obviously check out the free blogs at pipweekly.com. I'm not doing so much on there at the moment because I'm doing this drop shipping, but there's still lots of blogs on there to really try and help you live your best life, and to share some practical insights as well, so do check them out. So I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.